Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so we are back again with another Alliance War. This is Alliance War number 8 in Season 25, and ASR is going up against GT40. Now GT40 is a very capable Alliance, top upper half Masters level, and we have had very many close wars with them, so from the very get-go we knew it is going to be a hard-fought war. And especially in the current meta, where the overall death counts per alliance have significantly gone down because people have gotten used to the nodes and their placements, and defensive tactics have become easier with the removal of stubborn. Every death is critical for pretty much every war, especially if you're trying to push for top 3, where quite frequently the difference between your closest competitor is decided via defensive KOs given away. And on top of that, obviously, you never ever want to be the person to die. So, we have some interesting fights ahead of us, some Quake fights as well. So let's get to them. We can see that, yeah, previous season they placed in Masters, 50k Alliance rating. This is going to be my team for this war. It's Quake, Magneto, and Mallman back in action. So let's just kind of like do the start. I am this time on path 3 in section 1. This season I kind of get thrown about the map quite a bit. And then I'm going to be on path 2 in section 2 against Massacre and Mr. Sinister there. I would have also taken the Hulkbuster, but I kind of missed that find, but it's okay because I do have some mini-boss action. So this is pretty much the very early start of the war. Neither alliance has died. Both alliances have done like the initial 10-20 fights, something like that. So yeah, my first fight is Annihilus. There is no opponent placed on the second node on this path. It's fair enough because realistically, this is not the hardest lane, truth be told. And Annihilus is a very, very good defender, but I don't think he's very intimidating right here on that node. And in general, Annihilus kind of does suffer from the fact that no defensive tactic really supports him, and Dr. Doom and a few other champions have made him relatively straightforward fight. Annihilus used to be a lot more intimidating opponent than he is right now. But I'm just gonna go in and quake this guy, so I'm not gonna get you guys sitting through the entire fight. I could have used Magneto probably if I wanted to, but Quake is a very clean, straightforward, quick fight, nothing to worry about. Trying to finish it with a perfect yellow bar, which is the ultimate goal in pretty much every Quake fight if possible. And yeah, we can see that like a minute and 20-second fight it is, and that's about it. Minute and 21 seconds, Quake gets the job done. Can move on, and as I said, no opponent in the second node, but I will take this Immortal Hulk as a joint fight. And once again, it's Quake, nothing too crazy, nothing too difficult. Trying to finish the fight with yellow bar. We are doing a quite good job thus far. You can see full yellow bar, Hulk is going down. But unfortunately, at the very end, I'm gonna take a hit on a block and bring shame to my battle group. Now, I'm just kidding. It's obviously not that serious. Still fairly straightforward fight with Quake. You also don't need to worry about him going unblockable or triggering his immortality or whatever it is. You can see I took one hit on a block there. This was a bit longer fight. It was like minute 40, but that is just about it. Now we can move on to the next fight, which is going to be Coop's Strife. So for those of you who do not know, Coop is also an MCOC content creator. You can surely check him out. Type in Coop MCOC. You'll find his channel. He uploads war videos and some other stuff. And yeah, he's quite a cool guy. He's quite frequent guest in the streams as well. So all the best luck to Coop. But when it comes to his shitty Strife, Magneto is gonna absolutely destroy the guy. And yeah, it's not going to be a tricky fight at all. I actually didn't notice that my recording is, for whatever reason, cut this guy off a bit. It's okay, we're gonna fix it in a moment. There we go, perfect. You can see the guys now better. There we go. Fixed it, almost, kind of, good enough. And the entire thing, so this is Mixmaster and Power Focus 1 and Aggression Prowess. We can see that Aggression Prowess hardly ever triggers due to reduced ability accuracy. And yeah, Strife is metal. Magneto likes that. The entire plan is just to heavy attack him and or medium light and get to level 3, drop the level 3, he should be dead. Also, thanks to Power Focus 1, I really don't need to bother baiting out the special attacks because he gains very, very little power as long as he is above a single bar of power. So it's a very actually beneficial. And here he does his Street Fighter move and dies mid special attack. It's always kind of fun when that happens. An opponent just kick the bucket as they are trying to do something cool. Now, there was a cool picture of Spider-Man, because why not? Possibly going to be used part of it in some upcoming thumbnail about Variant 7, but hey, who knows? And now this is already the next morning, so all the fights up until now were recorded in the first evening or just before bed, and now these are the fights that I do early this morning. Now the war is technically still going on, and it was close pretty much for the most of it, but yeah, I'm gonna discuss the results toward the end. Either way, part 2 in section 2, it's not the scariest thing, nowhere near as scary as part 2 in section 1. Now, we do have 2 of these strike counter nodes, strike counter Fury and strike counter Power, or whatever it is called. And the Fury one is scary because you really don't want the opponent to get those Furies. Now, the Power one really doesn't matter that much because typically you just bring in champions that don't really rely on special attacks, and then you can just ignore the node altogether. Just bring in, like, I don't know, Warlock, Human Torch, Quake, or whoever, and you never have to worry about that strike counter node in general. And this matchup in particular here, we have Quake going up against Mr. Sinister. It's a very standard matchup, and yeah, very easy peasy. No damage taken, wonderful, we can move on. It's also quite good war in the sense that I haven't taken even any meaningful chip damage, therefore haven't had to use any potions, which I'm super happy about because I'm trying to use less potions this season because my stash is kind of empty. Still have some team potions left, but I don't have any single ones, and I never waste my glory in those potions because they are so ridiculously overpriced, honestly, that glory for alliance potions right now is one of the biggest scams happening in MCOC. They are so stupidly overpriced. Either way, next fight is Massacre, again on strike counter, power, suppression, whatever node it is. And I could have brought in Quake if I wanted to, why not? But I just brought in Mole-Man. I do not have Suicide Masteries active. I typically like to have Suicide Masteries when I use Mole-Man, but I do have some medium level boosts, and this isn't like a boss fight, so it's all good. And yeah, we can see that the Massacre is going down very, very quickly, very, very steadily. How good chunk of bleeds on him. Only thing that I need to worry about is baiting out the level 1, and that is just about it. I don't care about my power meter, about anything else. There's no problem if I need to get more charges, just parry heavy, and yeah, very, very straightforward fight. I don't know why he was quite placed there. Now, as I said, there was a Hulkbuster on the joint node, but somebody took that Hulkbuster down just as I was kind of like boosting up. I was like, dang it. Either way, I do have 2 mini bosses in this war. The first one here is a Gladiator Hulk. And against this guy, honestly, it's quite straightforward, simple, and in my opinion, also bad placement. And also, it just so happens I could use literally any 3 of the champions that I have on me to deal with the guy. I could bring in Mole-Man, I could bring in Quake, I could bring in Magneto. But since I know you guys don't particularly like to watch Quake fights, I didn't bring Quake. Since I know that I'm going to be using Mole-Man, well, I was probably going to be using Mole-Man for the next fight, so I just brought in Magneto. Because why not? Should be fairly straightforward. Felt absolutely safe and confident picking either 3 of the options that I had with me. And yeah, I'm just gonna parry heavy this guy till I get to level 3, drop the level 3, and with that the fight is also gonna be over. And yeah, absolutely nothing to worry about. Now I have triggered protection, and if I would have triggered another stack of protection, I would have landed an intercept. But in this case, since he only had the 1, and since he's metal, and since we all know how powerful Magneto's level 3 is, I really didn't even want to bother. I just gonna leave that protection stack up there. Why not? Who cares? I have 40 something promises. and drop my level 3, which nearly kills the guy. He has 33%, but 27 bleeds, ticking for 5k. Plus then there is going to be the shrapnel explosion. And yeah, needless to say that Gladiator Hulk is just destroyed. And yeah, now there is Coop's Thor Ragnarok. I could have probably tried to take that guy with either Magneto or Mole Man, but obviously that would not have been the best matchup there. And I just waited till somebody clears that for me. That is an irrelevant clip. My bad. My apologies for that. And here is the final fight of the war. And I was kind of like thinking, who am I going to use there? And Magneto could have been a perfectly good option for that fight as well, because obviously MCOC is a metal character, so even though the node has limber, Magneto could work around it. Magneto can never get auto-blocked, and really very, very safe option as well. But since I do have Mole Man with me, and Mole Man does like MCOCs, and Mole Man has class advantage, just figured why not, so I put on some medium set of boosts. Again, it's always important to boost, but it's also good to be reasonable, since I'm not doing boss fights, since this is my last fight here. Didn't want to overdo it with the biggest boost that I had. And yeah, I'm gonna go in there, and the fight is gonna go quite well. So even though there is limber active here, I'm gonna try and get in 2 quick parries here, just so I can trigger the frenzy mode. And the frenzy will not last the entire fight, because obviously I can't spam heavy attacks due to limber. But I managed to do kind of enough damage in the frenzy mode to finish him off whilst doing my like regular hits. Now, if I had Suicide Masteries active, but honestly, it probably would have been enough to finish this guy in like 3 combos or 4 combos. But since I didn't have my Suicide Masteries, we can see that he's going down a bit slower. Still drop my level 1, still do decent amount of damage, has a bunch of bleeds, don't have to worry about auto block. I will make a mistake here in a second by being too aggressive. Quite honestly, I should have just slowed down and let him hit my block. But I also knew even if I do mess up, he's not gonna like one-shot me with 1 combo. And I wasn't too worried about it. But smarter play would have been just to wait and block and go unstoppable and punish him then. But either way, very short, very quick, very straightforward fight. One mistake that cost me nearly half my health, but I was never at any meaningful level of danger or worried, so it's all good, it's all fine and fair. And yeah, so this is the current score as I am recording this at like 3 p.m. There are still like 3 hours, 4 hours left in the war, but we only have 7 fights left. And well, this is pretty much in the bag for most part. We do have a 3 death lead, we have more in exploration. Just need to finish up a couple of fights, and we're gonna be good. So that is war number 8 now. We are 2/3 through the season. I believe we're gonna, well, hopefully, most likely gonna be at 7-1 score. Doing quite all right for this season, but quite honestly, last couple of seasons, the war has been very, very stale. I like to get the rewards for it, but it's nowhere near as enjoyable as it used to be. Also, there seems to be some issues with matchmaking, which I might eventually make a video about, because, well, yeah, it seems to be quite busted once again. And yeah, other than that, I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's war video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons. And yeah, I will catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information